Yeah, hello. Uh, Good afternoon here. So basically, I'm just getting a few things set up still, so we'll be starting pretty quick here. Uh, Pretty much just trying to make sure that all the files are in the same place. Let's go ahead and get the music going, I guess. I think Crypto the Nectar Dancer probably sounds like a good bit of music for this one. There we go. Let's get this rolling here. Might be a little bit loud. There we are. Hello there, AO. How's it going? So yeah, basically the deal with the one for today. Actually, let's turn the volume down a little bit here. Got a little bit of loudness going on this end. So the deal with the one for today, going to be starting it off with rocket only, and then going to do a sort of tourney mode, as I'm calling it. Basically, the first thing is to try and rocket only everything, and then after that's done, the idea is to go through a second time, trying to do sort of a one life thing with only the 3 ACs that I used for the run up to this point, or that I used for the tourney, I should say. So yeah, that's the basic plan here. For some reason, Discord is being a little bit of a pain here. Was trying to get all of the files in. Why is it being a pain? So yeah, there's a whole set of new AIs here. Oh, by the way, so yeah, interesting thing, speaking of, since AO's here. So for the longest time, I thought that this AC stability was just outright garbage. It turns out it's the shield's fault. so yeah, that was an interesting thing they was mentioning yesterday. That apparently these things give negative stability, which is just downright bizarre, but I guess, I mean, they're given, I mean, it's a good balancing feature, if nothing else. But yeah, apparently it seemed to carry over to these DLC ones too, because these ones weren't, well, not DLC so much, but the remake ones as well, because these weren't in the original, and sure enough, here they are being kind of garbage. By the way, I'm checking one thing here. I'm not sure which. Okay, yeah, need to make a quick tweak to the OBS settings so it stops being so slow. So I wish Discord wouldn't have picked right now to crap out. Yeah, weird set with the side shields, probably not intentional. Probably not. It's definitely, I mean, it's probably one of many things that they ended up forgetting. I actually went and posted a thing on the Reddit of just, like, as far as I could recall off the top of my head, all of the completely bizarre jank that went into Silent Line. Like, I mean, you had stuff with stats being displayed with the wrong colors in the PS2 version. You had all of the main menu arena guys with the straight-up wrong names. You had a few guys showing up in the story that the operator was like, "Oh yeah, it's this guy," and then you're like, you know, who the hell's this guy? End up going through the arena multiple times, and it turns out no, it's nobody. they don't exist in the arena. So all right, so we'll be starting in just a second here. It's a little bit on the slow side as far as loading here. That'll happen. Is there any stutter or any of that coming through, by the way? Is the audio relatively okay before we get going? Yes, no, maybe so. Alright, Discord, you want to actually load that file up for me? Yeah, sorry, I meant to do this before, and then I just realized I was like 10 minutes over when I said I would start this thing, so, a little bit late, since they only allow increments of 30 minutes for some reason. I'm not sure why they do that. You'd think they'd be able to put in a specific time. Let's see, I'm seeing one person hopping in and out. Is that you, Mr. Cow? So yeah, probably what I should be doing is taking the starch diet here, replacing those side shields and arms with something else. But at this point, you know, been through all the rest of them with this guy. so might as well. Alright. Come on, Discord. Why now? Yeah, I don't know why Discord's doing this right now. Because for some reason the when I checked the file for the AIs here, it didn't seem to load properly. All right, let's see if this did it now. All right. Yeah, I might have to restart the thing here in a second if it doesn't decide to behave. Audio sounds good? Okay, good. Oh, Discord, why are you doing this? That is some extreme irritation, I have to say. It's like the moment that it's finally needed. It's like, no, I'm just gonna not load now, thanks. Let's see if some Control-Alt-Delete helps solve the situation. If not, it might just be OBS interacting with it, so I might have to restart it real quick. Yeah. It's looking like that might be it. Discord, you're so mean. Why did I upgrade my laptop again? Technical upgrade. It's a very technical upgrade. Like it's weird. Like this thing is specifically only faster in some situations. I try to ask it more than one thing at once, and it's just like, oh my god, why? Why would you ask this of me? All right. So it'll be just a second here. If this doesn't start working within the next 30 seconds, I'm just gonna restart it real quick. But how's your day been going over there? Yeah, there we go. It's finally back to life. Holy hell. That took way longer than it should have. And it's a pretty fantastically crappy way to start this thing, I must say. But such is the nature of streaming, I suppose. So, alright, there we go. Oh, and it wants to load some kind of Steam launcher thing for some reason. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so let's go over here to the AC YouTube page, go to the files, and let's see here. So yeah, as you may have noticed, the only one from the tournament that he hasn't actually made was mine. So he said that it basically would have been the exact same as the one that he already made for me. So yeah, that's kind of the deal there. So we can put this away. We can put this off to the side, and then as soon as this loads, it'll be possible to do a little thing here where we switch to a different recording method of PPSSPP so that it actually runs at real time instead of being all slow-like. That's apparently some kind of DX11 issue. The fun of having all kinds of new goodies, right? Alright, memory stick. Where are my downloads? Come on, downloads. Alright, and tournament, yeah, here it is. At least the controls seem to be working properly. That was another thing that was kind of causing issues earlier. Why is this a blank file? Open archive, please. There we are. So I'm seeing only 3, weirdly enough. I would have expected a little bit more than 3. But such is life. Actually, wait a minute, right, because each one can have 5. That's why there's only 3 of them. So it would have been 15 of them, and yeah, that's probably another reason he didn't end up doing mine, because it would have been a little bit of extra stuff there. Getting no work done today with all the AC chatter on the Discord. Yeah, I know the feeling of not getting any work done, unfortunately. One of those days on this end here too. So okay, this seems to be a little bit better. No, I'm still getting a little bit of lag here. Dang it. Let's see what happens if I turn down the resolution. Alright, AI Arena, let's load this up. Nope, not the one that I wanted to load. Shame, PPSSPP, why do you not want to work on this thing? Blah. Alright, so here we go. What are we seeing here? So we got Siphon, Dark, and Celtic. Alright, I'm assuming those teams are not necessarily just them. They very well might be, but we'll go ahead and start with Siphon, since he's not here to comment about it. Oh, and it is his 3. Okay. So the Tartarus, Harpy, and it's supposed to be the Amethyst. I don't know how Acethyst occurred there. Okay, hang on. Resolution 2 times. Oh, you know what it is? Let's double check those settings real quick. There we go. That should be good. Okay, we're good and alive now. It's gonna cause that bottom part to freak out, but whatever. So first things first, rocket only these guys. There may be a little bit of lag at first. Again, just a little bit of testing to be done as far as that's concerned still. Right. Yeah, no. Those emulation settings aren't going to work. So we still do buffered rendering. Take off block transfer effects. Now I'm getting very extreme lag and a different version of the box bug. Well, that's just pretty well nifty now, ain't it? So keep that on. What exactly are we running into here? Is it the filtering? I doubt it. Tell me, is filtering the thing? Not quite. I'm still getting like a half-second delay on my inputs. What else do we have here? Frame skip, rendering, resolution, maybe? No, still getting a fair bit of lag on that. Oh, what gives? PPSSPP, you were just working. What is your issue? Alright, maybe minimize that. It's working better now? Yes, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and restart that then. It was because of the fact that it had Chrome up in the background. So we'll turn that resolution back up to 2 times, as it should be. And it looks like we should be all good and running normally now. Okay. So now, the real rocket run starts here. And I'm loving this feeling lately. Seems like we've been getting a nice little trickle of new folks to the channel. It's like 2 or 3 new people a day. It's pretty great. Alright, so first things first, we got bazookas and extensions, as well as tri-missiles on the back. Gotta love those tri-missiles. Alright, yeah, it seems like we're running in real time. Let me get that mouse out of the screen, and there we go. Alright, you're probably going to go for a swarm first. Yep. They typically tend to. Didn't do any warm-ups before this, so let's go ahead and see how we do this without warm-ups. Alright, you're capable of being stunned, so that took off about half his health right there. This is revenge for all of those ones that beat me with this build during the tournament. I got close a couple times to actually getting a win with this stupid thing, but oh well. So apparently these are supposed to be some new and tricky AIs, and I think I accidentally triggered, pushed the button for my overboost there. So he's gonna run in front of me a couple times, probably get himself hit. Doesn't matter. There we go. Alright, and one more shot ought to do it. Interesting. So those hand rockets just kind of glanced off him there. And there we go. Sounds good to me. Oh wait, didn't mean to view replay. I don't want to view the replay. I know how it went. Yeah, still getting occasional input lag, but it's way better than before. So hopefully that won't become a running theme. Alright, next we got Harpy. Okay, still got Swarm, still got Blade, still got Bazooka. Let's go ahead and start off with some decoys as you do. Is the overall quality coming through at least half decent? Like video quality and all that sort of thing. Showing relatively sharpish on my end, but figure I might as well check. Alright, took his first shot. In case you happen to be new here, the whole deal with waiting for them to take the first shot is a rule from a fair bit earlier, where in a lot of the early rocket runs I just gone through and sniped everything. So the rule is I have to let them get close and take their first shot before I actually can attack. So alright, there we go. Suppose eventually I'll probably try to go through and do parry blade only, although that would be frustrating as hell now that I think about it. Not so much for these guys, because these could eventually be figured out. I'm speaking mostly about those ones that end up staying in the air forever. There we are. Video quality seems good. Okay. Yeah, so it's technically, I think it's like technically showing 480p or something. It's supposed to go up to 720, but I don't know. It's actually recording at a higher resolution than that. It's just getting downscaled to just below 720, so it automatically says it's 480 for some reason. I don't know. Technical shenanigans I don't understand. So here we should see the first example of those stun shield, or those side shields being a little bit of a problem with their negative stability situation. Kind of makes me wonder just how low it ends up being, like whether it literally overflows. I think the discovery was for overflow yesterday, wasn't it? Alright, take a shot. Now, the AI shouldn't be nearly as good with those super accurate missiles. Not what I meant to have out there. Alright. That rifle is going to eat my shields like crazy, which will completely destroy the defense on this thing. Alright. 800 MG I'm not terribly concerned about as long as the rifle doesn't hit me. Missiles hurt, but oh well. If I could just... yeah, there we go. I was saying if I could just get one hit off on him. Seeing as this is an AI, he doesn't typically pressure as well. So there we go, already got him in a burn. Didn't get him on fire, though. There we go. Sound effects are pretty low here, so I'll probably turn that up in a second here. Yeah, I'm trying to aim for slightly above the ground here when he's circling around. Alright, shields are probably getting into critical. I can't see them. Yeah, they're sparking. Okay. Ran into charge, but it's fine. So he's still unsure if it's overflow or if side shields just drain it to 0. Left arm shield will negate stun regardless. Yeah, seems to be. I kind of wonder if it just absorbs all impact from the front, or if it does take it from all angles, because they do have directional. They do have directional states for each of those. All right, so there we go. There's Siphon, beaten deathless with the rockets. Let's go for Darkside Gilver. Just want to take a second because this is my favorite theme from from Necro Dancer. So yeah, this thing right here, this absolute beast, the Godfather here, ended up beating it with the Coffee Hawk in the tournament. I still have no idea how that happened because we had several fights afterwards and I could not repeat that. So it was just like one lucky shot, which made me wonder whether he was actually equipping the side shields. But no, he has those extensions. So yeah, I guess howitzer just stuns if it hits in the foot regardless. But anyway, this thing is tough. So let's see if the AI can do it as well. Alright, now what you gonna do? He's gonna go for missiles, of course. Now you're probably gonna be much easier to hit with this. Actually, the funny part is, like, during the tournament, I ended up having to fight it with everything but this build. So, I don't know. I have a feeling that maybe odds would have been a little bit better with this thing overall, because basically all of its long-range stuff can be dodged. It doesn't move very fast, it can't overboost or anything, and yeah, its main damage at long range is these missiles, which can be avoided. So, I don't know. Maybe the odds would have been a little bit better. Ended up beating it anyway, I guess, but still. Just kind of makes me wonder. Alright, I should probably stay a little bit farther away here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, running into a little bit of a situation because he's going to start using more tri-missiles soon, and I keep running into places where I shouldn't. And for some reason, having a really hard time actually hitting him with the napalms. Alright, side shield's still holding, so that should keep the defense relatively high. You know, if it was an intentional decision to make side shields reduce stability, honestly, it would both make sense and be perfectly fine, because they are just kind of hanging off there, so they probably would end up making it a little bit off balance, I guess. I mean, probably not necessarily, but still, for game balance purposes, it's justifiable enough. So it could be. I mean, in later games they changed it one way or another, but just something that comes to mind. Okay. Mihilus. So this is the basically the 4-answer build right here. Alright, so he's going for mild swarms. I'm gonna put this out there. Looks like he's going for that. Ah, hell. I screwed up. It's probably too late to already catch this up. There we are. Gotcha. A little bit of focus mode here. Or no, wait. You know what? Actually, this is perfectly possible. Goodbye. Yeah, his tournament version had a tendency to stay in the air a lot more. But what I was worried about there is that he would end up getting all of his crazy plink going. If he goes double rifles and the EO, it's usually enough to completely shred off the shields, at which point everything's just completely out of whack. This thing has no defense after those shields are gone. Thank you, AO. Alright, and then we got Sith Lord. I wonder if this will blade as aggressively as Slayer usually does. Alright, let's do this thing. Take your shot. Alright. Don't know why that decoy didn't protect me there. Looked like it was within range. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to do something a little bit different, because he's easily avoiding all this. Man, I wish I could move my window just a slight bit, and that's bugging me more than it should. You ever had that moment, like, where you can't move your window, but it's just like, it's like 1 inch off from where you usually have it, and it's just this horrible OCD thing? Bugging me more than it should. There we go. Go for the landing timing. He's going for the swarms. There was a discussion to try and ban the 4-shot missiles, which I really hope doesn't happen. I don't want to rebuild the Coffee Hawk. Although, they're really not one of the more OP things anyway. because they don't end up lasting that long. Thank you, random button press that I don't actually recall doing. Ah, that just barely caught the corner of the building. And should be one more here. Nope, not meaning to go out of bounds. Don't you dare. Ah, so close, so close. Give that a retry. I just needed to get one more off on him. Hey, well, such things will happen. Go ahead and fire your missiles, or grenades, whatever you want to do. Actually, probably would have won it if I had gotten that decoy to function early on as well. Alright, going vertical, that's fine. Let's put a couple decoys out there. Gotcha. Yeah, still planning to go do the last Raven version of the rocket run at some point. And every time I think about it, I just dread that one fight with Principal. Not because of the actual fight with Principal, but because of the fact that there's those friggin' helicopters there. So I'm almost tempted to do a thing where I just make a build that uses an Orca or something, and then just say, you know what, screw it. For some of the random trash mobs or whatever, I can't be bothered. You know, like the leftover helicopters or whatever else. It's like, beat the AC, beat the mission or whatever else, and then use the EO. I mean, it's a cop-out for sure. I probably won't end up doing that, but it's just really annoying, because when I was doing a test run of it a little while ago, every single time, it's like, the little helicopters are just moving in a random direction every time, and it's nothing to do with actual skill on hitting the things. It's just like, they're gone now. You know, they moved a little bit. Missiles are banned because decoys exist. Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier, the only thing that should probably be banned missile-wise are the tri-missiles. Just because those things, I mean, they have so much ammunition and tracking, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, we were having a conversation on that during the commentary for the tournament, and it's just, it's like, those things have far more ammunition than any decoys you're going to get. Even the 20-shot decoys are going to run out eventually, because they have 30 bursts. You can have a maximum, even if you expand everything, you can make it to exactly 30 decoys. And then that's still possibly letting 2 of those missiles through, depending on how they end up tracking that time. So yeah, even at maximum ammo, and especially when you see the ones that end up using both packs of them, that they're coming in with like 180 missiles, it's a little bit extreme. A little bit extreme. But yeah, it's just the amount of them and how well they track for how much they weigh, because those super high accuracy missiles that you get like 36 of, I mean, those ones weigh about the same as the triple ammo, or the triple shot ones, I believe. You know, let's go take a look at that real quick. Where are you? So let's see, these are 1047, whereas the tries are probably not something I even have on this save file. I don't think I ended up buying anything. Alright, where are the tri-missiles? Here they are, 884. Or, wait, those are the verticals, my bad. Where are the tri-missiles? Did I never get them on this guy? Oh, here they are. So 1105. So yeah, they're practically the same weight. And you're basically getting almost triple the amount of missiles. So, there's that. Okay, so that's all 3 of those guys beat. Surprisingly, the Sith Lord was a bit harder than the other ones. Alright, then we got Celtic. So we got Famfrit. Come to think of it, where are the others? Are there only 3 so far? I thought all of them came out. Do you happen to know, AO? Alright, well, anyway, let's go ahead and get going on Famfrit here. I believe I actually did fight this guy before. It's actually funny, because this is the one that was in really super extreme slow-mo. Oh, I was saying, do you know if there's just the 3 arenas so far, or if there's more that I missed or something? Because I'm only seeing these 3. Alright, I didn't see if he has missiles, so I'm going to put some decoys out just in case. I don't think so, but yeah, this is the guy that I got to show off because it was running in super slow-mo. So usually this timing between dodging the sniper and the Sawa is really precise, but I managed to kind of just get it absolutely perfect because it was running at maybe friggin' 15 FPS at the time. So that was great. It was so satisfying because I was looking at it and I was losing the fight. I'm like, you know what? I should be taking advantage of this slow-mo. Also, my controls seem to have jacked up here because I just threw away my napalms. Oh well. Still very winnable. There we go. Famfrit is now done. Oh, haven't been paying attention to that? Okay, let me go take a quick peek at Discord here, because, oh, dang it, I exited out of it. Why did I exit? Meh. Alright, we got Pixie next. Alright, you seem like fun. While we wait for Discord to load in the background, it's probably going to take another 4.5 years to come up like it did the first time. Alright. As per usual, he's going to be going for the swarms, I almost guarantee it. The AI absolutely loves to do that because it is their longest range weapon in most situations. He already fired, so there we go. I'm cleared to engage. By the way, if you're ever wondering why the AI and why I do the same thing of throwing out a bunch of decoys, the idea is basically just to have them sitting there. So yeah, sometimes you end up running them out, but it's hopefully a little bit better if you're running into an unprepared situation. All right, there we go. Yeah, he's gone. Unless he ends up doing something amazing here, which it's not looking likely. I don't think he's got a chance to pull this back. Are you allowed to do tournament-like commentary if you're the one doing the fighting? Alright. Yeah, Discord doesn't even feel like coming up. Of course doesn't. Discord, why are you such a mean thing? Alright. Iblis. Wait, why does the Iblis not have its head? Where is Iblis' head? Oh well, he's supposed to have the reindeer head. I don't know what that's all about. It's like his whole thing, it's on his emblem and everything. Come to think of it, throughout the entire series, why is it that, have you noticed that all players just kind of like associate the actual design of the AC with their emblems? But when they had the actual in-game emblems, they almost never did. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think they ever did. The closest that it came to actually emulating the parts was, I want to say, like maybe Trafalgar. But still, they didn't actually use the parts themselves in their emblems. I mean, you'd think they would. Like, realistically speaking, that's something people do all the time. How many trucks do you see running along with like one popular one here in Michigan is just like the Michigan mitten part of this state holding a pistol or rifle or something? It's like it's always the gun on there, you know? You'd think that'd be a thing. So is he just gonna stand there? I mean, if he feels like standing there, sure. One last shot. So yeah, the only loss, if that's the case, would have come from what's it? Friggin' not Darth Mobius. What's his face? I'll take a look. It's that one with the things that I can't remember. All right, here we go. Here's Discord. Yeah, so yeah, it was 7-11 that the Ocean Breaker Arena came out. Yeah, part 1 of the tournament. So this was just part 1. Dang it, I thought it was all of them. Alright, well, anyway, I guess it's a little bit of a short one. I think for the sake of a victory lap, I'm just going to go ahead and do them all with Coffee Hawk, just to see what that looks like. Not exactly going to be as difficult, but whatever. So, we already have this arena up, so we'll go ahead and start with Famfrit. Just do them in reverse order. this thing. It's so satisfying. And I accidentally threw away my howitzer. Fantastic. Just what I intended to do. Oh well. It's perfectly fine. Functioning as intended. And there we go. You know what's funny? This head isn't even the most practical thing to have on this. It's actually ridiculously drainy. Probably the entire build would be suited a lot better by not having the bunny head on there. But you gotta have the bunny head on there. Let's probably just throw some random fire out there. Alright, he got me with a bazooka. Love the coffee hawk. And there we go. So yeah, if the Coffee Hawk dies, then I have to use the Murder.exe. Or actually, I'll just use the Murder.exe on the second one. Why not? See if that thing was even remotely competitive. It really wasn't. The Murder.exe was absolute hot garbage. Oh, nice. Funnily enough, I think I'm having a harder time with the Coffee Hawk than I am with the friggin' rocket build at this point. There we are. So what's the mystery third build you were teasing yesterday? Oh, you know, something that I was gonna show for the tournament. Just perhaps a couple of parts that people may have completely forgotten existed in Silent Line. And a few of them that may or may not have gotten potentially, you know, banned from previous tournaments. I was just thinking, you know what, this last tournament I went completely for just nerfing myself as much as possible. So I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if I went and tried to actually go for something like legit cheap as hell. So so far nobody's remembered any of those particular parts. So I'm gonna wait till the official ban list is out, then we'll see about posting those lists up. Just go ahead and leave it at that. Alright, let's see how the murder.exe does. Probably really poorly. Because this thing sucks. Alright, you've got decoys. Surely you can avoid this. What's that, you say? Ridiculously avoidable? Yes. Yes, it is. Alright, so triple missiles all the way. See, here's the thing with triple missiles, like I was saying earlier. Right now, just fire a few bursts and he's already completely overwhelmed as far as the amount of missiles go. He was ready for this situation, and now he's no longer ready for this situation. And because he's the AI, he won't know what to do about nukes. There we go. Alright, so maybe it's not the worst build in the universe, but still. Dedicated missile build, good against AI, not so much against people. Oh! Look at you! You don't have decoys. Because you think you're gonna be all fast-like. Let's go ahead and put those out there. Let's put one of these out here. There we are. Huh. I think this actually might even be the one that I ended up running out of energy against. I mean, it seems like he's perfectly keen on running away from those missiles forever, but whatever. But yeah, overheat or not, this build is simply just not worth it. Just because you can tell it's ridiculously slow. I'm a little bit surprised that this AI knows how to do that long-range avoidance thing. I guess he was specifically trained for that or something. Alright, let's see how Sith Lord does. He's running away pretty effectively, that's how he does. Right, and he is completely out of decoys at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and spam missiles, even though I know a lot of them won't end up hitting. Just kind of for the sake of maybe pressuring him a little. Alright. There we are. I guess he still had a decoy out there or something? Yeah, goodbye. Nuked! Alright, now let's go for that last one. So far, no losses. I was told that I have no need to set up any challenges or anything else, so, wait, that's the wrong one. I already did that one. Let's do Siphon Razor. Tartarus. I just feel like playing around with this thing so far. So for the record, that is basically in total 1 loss with the rocket run, and, yeah, no losses with the other one so far. Throw one out there just for the sake of making him panic with decoys. It seems like it makes them panic. Could be wrong on that, but it certainly feels that way. Yeah, he's out of decoys now. Put these out there so he runs. Goodbye. Enjoy your jog, sir. Throw those out for a little bit more pressure. And make you run again. This is absurdly abusable. That last one just orbiting around him. That's pretty awesome. Whee! Man, I gotta get a clip of that later. Alright, and last one, or actually second to last one, so we got the Harpy, got the bazooka and all that sort of thing. Probably as decoys. Whatever, we'll still waste this first burst of 4 missiles for the hell of it. Yep. There they go all over the place, off to make some fireworks. He hasn't fired his decoys yet for some reason. I'm not sure why he allowed himself to get hit. I'll do a little bit different from last time, just fire these right away. Okay, he still had 11 decoys, and he still ate, like, 4 large missiles in total. One of the 3 of us, yes. And then the Amethyst, aka the Amethyst, which I know because he mentioned it a few times during the tournament, and it looks like an amethyst. There we go. Pew 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 pew. I'm not concerned about ammo on this guy at all. Where are your decoys, good sir? Wow. Okay, that time I do want to look at the replay. What the hell? He just ate it. I think that was actually the first burst that did him in, too. Let us see. Interestingly, these large missiles, they do almost nothing for actually breaking parts. They're the premier part breaker in Last Raven, but yeah, they do almost nothing. Even if all of them hit a particular part, I think it's projectile count that counts in most cases. It's like, what can I possibly do about this? Dead. And dead. Well, you had a good day. Alright, so I guess that's that. So that's those ones done. I'm actually going to go ahead and stop this real quick and launch some Last Raven, just to kind of show what I was what I was talking about for the last Draven rocket run being absolutely dreadful. Alright, where is it here? It's one of these thingies. Or do I not have it on here for some reason? No, here it is. There we are. Hello. Alright. Out of curiosity, did my save state for that run carry over? Sure did. Okay. So this was an absolutely... This is the exact moment I was talking about. There's one helicopter left, and exactly one rocket. It's like this was at the very end of the principal fight. So, I had this test run where I was just kind of trying to figure out the exact snipe to do. Like, normally he ends up staying at that exact thing. There we go. It's like, you can kind of get their elevation eventually, but then as soon as they decide to change it, it's nonsense. So if there's any need to hit MTs in a way that doesn't involve that, it's going to be a problem. So, alright. We got the Silky! Yay! This isn't the actual run, by the way. This is just for the hell of it. I think it's a recapture storage site for the Zenaida run, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Dong, dong, dong. And you can see already just the sheer amount of not nearly as many missiles that ends up happening. Or rockets, rather. Alright. So, messing with my lock-on, not as much of a problem. All of their fire rates are completely different, too. They're much, much, much slower in Last Draven. Also, come to think of it, is my resolution as high for this? Okay, no, there we go. Let's sharpen up that resolution to something that isn't gross to look at. Probably the ideal way to do this would be to do this on a completed file. I was just kind of transferring the file over. I'm sure they are. So yeah, these are now single shot instead of double shot, so that's pretty well annoying. Even that kind of burst isn't enough to do them in. So larges are kind of needed for a lot of these situations. Obviously, hit recoil is going to be a problem. May still be around. Oh no, it's so important. It's going to make such a big difference. It never does. Yeah, Last Raven's map design. And the only time, actually one of only a couple of times, that napalm rockets are actually used by enemies. Alright, so one left. Actually, wow, even that wasn't enough. Oh no, he was such a challenge to get to. These rockets are so slow, it's painful. Interestingly, the mid rockets seem to fire faster than the lefty ones. Or even the hand ones, for that matter. So, there we go. That's all well and done. So, it's not like this run's impossible, it's just there's certain parts of it that are dreadfully painful. Oh, napalm howitzers? Yeah, true. Yeah, I think it mentions that in the info here. World report. Where is it? Technologies. MTs. It's funny that this particular thing is one of the more in-depth things as far as what all of the different models and stuff are. Let me see if I can find it. God, looking through their catalog must be boring as hell. It's like, oh look, here's all these things. I'm totally gonna remember the difference between the 85 BP, the 85M, and the friggin' 98G. And yeah, there we go. Grenade launcher. Oh. So, Suppression and defense. I'm not sure what it suppresses, because it sets stuff on fire, but whatever. Let's see. I think investigate an activity, that's the next one. Or was it remove intruders? Because I know you're supposed to save, rimfire till later. Actually, no, it is supposed to be intruders, because this is the one where you run into Momo, I think. Alright, let's move on. I'm sure they did. I'll definitely do that. By the way, if you're wondering why I was saying it probably would be easier on a completed save file, this would be so much easier in first person. For obvious reasons. Oh, by the way, funny pun that oftentimes goes unnoticed about Last Raven. It's like for all of the thing of, oh yeah, no, the Last Raven had no sense of humor. Ed Wise. He's the advisor. I mean, the soul of AC was still kind of there. Actually, this isn't the right one, is it? Because I know you're supposed to run into Mumu in one of these. Oh well. Again, this isn't the actual run. I'll plot it out and everything else later. It was mostly figuring out the different trajectories that was a problem. So I think once, dude, you can have like 50 guys here. It does not matter. Also, none of them are here, I'll tell you that much. Are you done yet? You can kind of do like a 3-rocket burst with these things, but you can see everything takes so much punishment. Also, for some reason, activating some props still causes the rocket to fire. It's specifically like a left arm rocket issue, I'm not sure. Also, one of the lines that never makes any friggin' sense whatsoever. Like, oh, I know why they're so secretive. It's that thing you didn't see. You know, they're really embarrassed about all their gray corridors. It's so embarrassing. And then you find out later, they're like, yeah, no, there's some nefarious crap in there. But still. Let's see. Trying to steal some stuff. They're doing illegal bioexperiments, because yeah, when the world's over, I'm sure people care so much about what's legal or not. Let's go ahead and skip all that. Do a bit of commencement. This should be relatively easy, since MTs don't matter all of a sudden. There we go. So, as you can see, it's the trajectory on these things is a little bit different, or not trajectory, I keep saying that, the speed on these things is a little bit different. It's kind of, okay, that was a fluke. So we're going to go ahead and restart that one. So yeah, overall their properties are similar, it's just the rockets fire a bit slower. And all of them fire at minorly different speeds, not to mention some of them have bizarrely different hitboxes. Like especially the large rockets, they seem to have, of all things, a larger projectile but a smaller hitbox. I've seen this thing just kind of clip straight past stuff in multiple occasions. But yeah, this fight appears to still be annoying. For a couple reasons. For one, I'm getting a little bit of lag, but that's not enough of a reason for this to be an issue. It's mostly because elevation's changing and the timing's different. So a lot of the rocket runs and everything else rely on being able to time it exactly with your jump. And as you can see here, it's not exactly working out as well. Not to mention the rockets don't pressure nearly as hard as they did in other games. Let's give that another go. I think what I might need to end up doing is actually changing the generator. And I accidentally just threw away my secondary rockets. Yeah, when I do the run, it is I think I am just going to go ahead and accept save states for the beginnings and ends of stuff, because it's definitely going to be necessary. Like, as you can see, it's annoying as hell to do this. I mean, realistically, sir, no. I just think not for the reasons that you may kind of be expecting here. Yeah, I'm just barely missing these. Alright. That little bit of timing difference. Why did you do it, From? You really could have just left rockets as they were, and they would have fit in perfectly fine. There we are. Not to mention, sometimes they actually do fire the full burst. Actually, that could be an input lag thing, now that I think about it. Sometimes they seem to fire a full burst, sometimes they seem to only fire a single shot. These things aren't even enough to take out a friggin' MT. Alright, and charging. Fantastic. So I think the lefts are the only thing I changed. Yeah, yeah, probably. Alright. And there we go. I also feel like the larges possibly fire at a slightly higher elevation. Also, you know, one thing that I've never seen actually addressed in the series that I would have... dang it. Why is that button triggering? I'm not even pushing it. One thing I've never seen addressed in the series is what the deal is with all these border lines here. Because honestly, why would you... You're in this huge desert and you're limiting yourself to this tiny little area. And it's probably because you could just completely cheese this map by sniping, but... I mean, they pretty much dissuaded you from using snipers so heavily in LR that it's kind of absurd that they even exist at times. I mean, the multiplayers are perfectly fine with it. In this one, the map is just all ridiculously tiny. There we are, getting a few solid hits on him. I should probably be focusing on these MTs, but if I can at least get his legs damaged, that at least buys some time. Dang it, why are these larges so slow? It's probably because they're large or something. Alright. There we go. A little bit of improvement. So in the future, you know, whenever I actually go for this run for all serious like, I'll probably be updating this thing a little bit. Kind of a bit of a crap build for Last Raven. And you're a douche. I mean, it's not like it can't work, it's just that the energy situation is not going to function. Its radiator does not hold up whatsoever in Last Raven. Okay, I think I just busted up his legs. But as you can see, they're nerfed straight into the ground. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek. So if we go over here. Alright. Alright, so for one thing, I probably want to go ahead and go down to the goal here. Goal is going to be a little bit more efficient. The mares don't exactly function too well with this kind of setup right now. Probably want to go for a higher output type setup, but looks like I'm about where I'm going to go for output. Yeah, probably the 84p is the way to go, and then the Rigora. I think I'm already using the Ananda, I'm not sure. But I'll rebuild this real quick and then probably end up calling it right there. So let's do that. Switch that for that, and yeah, let's probably go for the Regora. Go ahead and tune these up a little bit. Get your energy drain down. Get your output up. There we are, and we're a little bit overweight. That's why I didn't do this. Alright. Yeah, I'm getting some input lag, as you can probably tell. Alright, let's go for the Hazel again. Let's give that one more shot. If you may be wondering what I did with the napalms, by the way. They just weren't holding up at all, especially against MTs. Alright, this thing is completely on fire. Honestly, right now, not really. Alright, so overheating seems to be a pretty major problem for this build. Yeah. It did run real hot. It was worth a try. Okay. So assembly-wise, let's do this. Left arm. Is that more weight? No. That's definitely more weight. Yeah, the hand rockets kind of suck, unfortunately. This input lag is horrible, though. Let's probably switch over to maybe these. Yeah, probably. See about setting him on fire instead. And then, yeah, this will probably be the last one, because I have to get going. Alright, so heat-wise, let's say birdies, maybe? It's not like this thing is needing a whole lot of speed. Yeah, just under 300 is fine. That's what I'm pretty much used to. Let's go over here. Let's switch back over to the Magnolia, and let's see how this crap holds up. It's just a shame about the larges, because again, they just don't hold up at all for some reason. The mids seem to do a far better job than the larges. Yeah, I like the birdie one. Alright. That input lag is pretty extreme, though. Okay, got him on fire. That was a bad approach. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So, he was almost out of energy there for a second. I want to say, anyway. Probably what I should be doing is actually trying to do this build in the single-player arena, or what am I saying, the just like the free arena on a regular file, just to kind of see how it's affecting him. Expect to see a fair bit of that. Like I said, the eventual plan with the run is I'm basically going to do it as soon as I know, with some relative confidence, that I can probably beat Zaneta with it. Which is going to be a bit of a thing. Ultimately, I'm probably going to need to go for a heavier build. Okay, those are going to miss. With my testing on it, I've mostly found that for that first little circling shot, he'll always end up going to the right. But sometimes it hits him, sometimes it doesn't, and I can't really decide on why that is. There's no comfortable midline elevation here. It ends up changing so often. Stop making me aim so awkwardly. Okay, so I want to point out one thing here as far as why this ends up being awkward, right? So when he goes down, if I just tap it a little bit, I can, you know, go down a pretty okay distance and be just fine. So probably just firing from above like this is best. But if I hold it for more than a second instead, and or just tap it quickly, it'll instead turn into a weird thing where it ends up going all the way down. A little bit like mouse acceleration in a way. It's just a weird Last Raven thing. I mean, they all had that, but it's just more noticeable here. So yeah, that's probably a good firing angle for him. Yes, so the plan is eventually Ultimate Zenata with rockets. Eventually. Like I said, that's the reason that I haven't really started this run proper yet. Like, I'm still getting used to all of the different trajectories, because you can, I don't know how much of this is carrying through, because, like, the little micro stutters, the little tiny differences in, where they end up firing and the type of projectile they use, that kind of thing. It's just all these little tiny differences, and like, the little timings are... It just feels entirely different, as you can probably tell. So while the rough idea kind of carries over, it's still super awkward, and especially I would have to get this lag issue fixed before I can actually consider trying this. Because this lag is atrocious. Like right here, I'm not doing these hard stops. That's just the button not actually registering for a second. I don't know how much of this is the game being slow. I don't know how much of this is just, random emulation issues. But either way. It is possible, I will say that much. The numbers are there to make it possible. It's just a matter of doing it. This is also probably a really bad frame for doing it too. Probably gonna want more of a heavier frame, but we'll do that once we get there. So once I fix the lag, once I figure out the frame, that's when we're gonna go ahead and do this run properly. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. So hope this was entertaining, and yeah, see you when we actually do that run.